Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are in early November out with the mower on mowing some grass. Well, how the heck do we end up out with the mower on mowing grass in early November? Well, quite easily actually. This field that we're in was mowed down for hay mid-August. Weather changed just right at the very end and we ended up getting it saved as haylage. After it was baled it was slurried and nothing has been done with it ever since. It's been just let grow away. Conditions we were away on holidays for a couple of weeks in the middle of all that. It was a bit wet when we come back. It wasn't great before we left. So, and we were busy then at other things as well. So we kind of just got left by the wayside. We'd given up on actually saving it as bales at all, or putting it into bales. We were just going to get our sheep guy in to maybe just put the sheep to it and eat it down that way. But we've had a fairly good dry couple of weeks. We've had a couple of glorious days sunshine wise. The ground conditions are pretty good for the time of year. So I've mowed in a lot worse conditions than this. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're mowing it down. We're going to leave it for a day or so. And the plan is to try and get it baled up maybe on, this is Tuesday, maybe get it baled up on Thursday. It's dry till I think Saturday or Sunday, so we've a wee bit of time to play about with. So we've got two bits to mow down. This is the first field here. There's something around 4.5 acres in this field, and field number 2 will have, it has about 8 or just over 8 acres on it, but we may not get all that cut. We're going to have to just feel our way around it because it's a field that we've done some drainage in over the last year or so, and we'll be kind of keeping out of where the wet spot is and then inching down towards it, and we'll see how far down we can get. And there's a hill on it as well, but I'm just not sure how much of that hill we're going to get cut. It's quite a steep hill in one corner of the field, so we'll cut whatever we can of it, and it can maybe get some sheep into it later in the year, and they'll eat whatever is left, along with this here. Then if we don't get all this cut in tight to ditches and stuff, there'll be a graze for sheep on this at some stage, probably after Christmas or maybe February time, when it maybe has greened up a little bit, just depending on what the weather does and if there's a bit of growth over the winter. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing today. 6930 is out, and as I say, we've got the mounted mower or trail mower on to mow it out. I'm not grouping the rows this year. In years gone by I have grouped the rows, and it has pluses and when I just get the mower down here and I'll tell you what they are. The pluses is that there's less runs around the field. You've only got half the runs up and down with the baler when you're baling it. The minuses is that it doesn't leave the most uniform row for a baler. It does a good job for the silage harvest, the JF. It loves it. You drop the row straight over on top of the other row. Perfect. It's what they're designed for. But for the baler, it kind of, if you drop the row slightly to one side, which a lot of times when you drop it over, it'll fall a wee bit to either side of the row. If it does that, it can throw off the shape of your bale. And the other problem is too, especially in later grass like this, if the grass is a little bit on the damp side, I've seen it has a tendency to, when it's going into the baler, especially when the bale starts to get full, it can jam the pickup and jam the bale from spinning, stop the bale from spinning. And I put that down to it being all on one side, the grass, that it's just that the row is a little bit on one side. So yeah, I'm going to just drop it all down in nice wide rows like this here, and we can come along, and I think that the baler will pick it up and do a nice job on it. So it's nice clean proper grass in it, and I think it should, look, the feed quality is not going to be fantastic out of it, but it's going to do a job for it. Our silage, as I say, is the silage is going down fast in the pit, and there's a couple of reasons for that. We've put a little bit less silage than usual, which in hindsight maybe wasn't a great idea. We could have put more in, but we have 20 acres of maize silage, which we don't usually have. The problem with that is that it isn't open at the minute, and we're still a number of weeks away from it being open. I've often cut this field in the summertime and it wasn't this dry. So it's never marked the field anywhere whatsoever. Just home dry, and yeah, it's mowed down quite nicely. There's probably better crop of grass in this than what I thought there would be even, which is always a good thing. So yeah, that's the last little strip there in the middle of the field. So we'll just run around the headlands now, and we'll tidy them up and get them cut as well. But yeah, good headway made in field number 1.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle.
I'm gonna tear down this castle.
Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love?
Alright, so the last bit of footage you seen there was of a little bit of rowing going on. We hired out a rake between us and a friend of ours as well, and he had some silage on the ground and we had some silage on the ground, so yeah, hired the massy rake and raked it up. It seems a good rake. I thought that the massy rakes were actually a lady rake, but I think I heard somebody saying then it was a fella rake. So, but good rake. It took I think 21 or 2 foot. So yeah, grand job, and done a good job at raking the ground. So it's the first time we ever had one of them, or used one of them. So good job. So got it all raked up, and that was on Wednesday. Sorry, that was on Thursday. Friday then, yesterday, went to Bales. There's 8 acres, there's about 8.5 acres, but it was half an acre down the bottom we didn't cut, so we just stayed out of it, and baled the other 8 acres. Should have took about an hour, a little over an hour to do it. It took 6 hours to do it. It kept, every time about 6-7 bales it go through the baler, it was getting caught up between the knives, and you had to start to unblock it and clear it out, and it was a siege, an absolute siege. So there was no footage taken of that because there was too many expletives being used. But myself and Peter, my cousin, done the 6 hours. He was in with me in the tractor. He happened to come in just to do a few rounds around there, or a few bales with me, and he ended up having to stay the whole time because we were just stuck into it, clearing it out. Every time it blocked, it would take 20 minutes to unblock it. So the reason for that is, one of the main reasons is that was there was red, that field was reseeded this year, and there was red clover put into it as part of the scheme, and the red clover was just going into pure and utter SH1T, and it was just an absolute mess. But we got it done anyway. So yeah, took longer than we would have liked, but we got it done anyway. We're just I'm just actually pulling into the yard here where the other field is. There's about 4 acres in it, or just over, and we are going to try and get it baled up now this morning. Our bale wrapping man is on site, or should be on site, I'd say, at this stage, and he'll be wrapping the other bales. So yeah, get baling. I'll take you along, I'll let you know how we're getting on in the next part of this video. So getting through this field quite nicely. We've a few rounds done around it, and it's well opened up, so it's not going to take us too long to bale it the way we were going on. Thankfully, zero issues. I was very nervous we were coming into this field. I thought, I didn't fancy spending 3 hours baling up, 4 acres. So yeah, just happy that it's all working alright. Different grass, no issue. So yeah, but not be too long getting it finished. And quite nice looking bales. So we'll just get another one filled up now and we'll get her netted. But yeah, the raking of the rows certainly is a great job. Coming off the rows, you just get through it a lot quicker. Pull the bale out. Nice square looking bale. Yeah, raking of the rows, great job. So yeah, it's something that really could do. It was a rake, something maybe around 22-24 foot would be ideal, that you could shake out a bit of grass and just roll it up and make a lovely nice size row. So yeah, not take too long to finish this. We'll keep moving on it and just see how many bales is on it in total, but yeah, it'll be nicely cleaned up. Yeah, happy with the bales. Bales are looking well. Nice looking bale. we got all the bales done, just about. You see, we got that last bit of baling, no problem at all. I got that finished. I come back to the yard. I got a call to come down and start stacking the bales. Had started to be wrapped, and that wasn't just going 100% smoothly. Some of the bales, they weren't just going on to the wrap up properly, and it meant then they were slightly going out of shape when they were launching over onto it. Some of them were a little bit out of shape, so they weren't wrapping just 100%. So we ended up having to lift them on one by one with the teleporter, which not the end of the world, I suppose, and we got them wrapped that way. There was 58 bales, and of the 58 there was 4 that couldn't be wrapped and 1 that was busted when it was wrapped, that we took up, and we have actually fed it to the cows. The cows have went absolutely mad for it and loved it. We mixed it half and half with the silage, and it is more or less gone. So yeah, well, at least the cows enjoyed it anyway, and they have it all left. There's only that small bit that you see in there, that's all that's left of it, so at least it's done. Ground conditions were good, which is great for the time of year, because it's the first year we've had good ground conditions towards the end of October or early November in a wee while. So yeah, that last stuff we baled was very dry, which is surprising. So yeah, look, overall it's grand. Feed quality is not going to be high in it, but our pit is getting low, so we'll be glad of it to feed to some of the cows. We'll be able to move the cows onto some of them round bales and other round bales that we have as well from earlier in the year. We'll be able to dibble and dab at give them some of each of them, and it'll help to stretch our silage out. We are back. We've about a link and a half of silage left, or just over. It's nearly 2 links of silage, and yeah, we're into the highest point of it now, which there's probably about half of the pit of silage, or a little bit more than that, is probably left, because the initial part of it was very, very shallow. So yeah, we've good biggest half of the silage pit is left, but at the same time we don't want to run low on it. So yeah, we'll be able to use them bales up. So that is it. Busy week. Didn't get any work on any of the cattle yet. We were working with the bales. Also I done a day and a bit spraying as well. Had to do insecticide spray and just a weed spray on all our crops, and I actually got that done. It's the first time that I got that done in many years. I didn't really take any footage of it. I might took a little bit of footage on my phone. If I do, I'll pop it up here just as I'm talking. But the crops have done well. The wet spots are a lot fewer than any other year, which is great. There is a couple of spots where it's always wet in a couple of those fields, so I kind of knew that going into them, that I was going to track them some little bit, but even at that, nothing like what the tracks have been in previous years. So yeah, very happy to have that sprayed and done as well. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Mix of just what's been going on this week. Cattle walk will be going on this week, so if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit the sub button, leave a like on the video, comment down below if you have any questions, and we'll see you at the cattle walk next week.